What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the 2026 Chevrolet Equinox EV RS. This model's finished off in black, no fancy name for it, but MSRP is around $54,700. So let's get right into Chevy's midsize electric crossover and see what it has to offer. Taking a look at some of the specs for the 2026 Equinox EV RS, this model is going to feature an 85 kilowatt hour battery pack, has 150 kilowatt fast hour charging capabilities. Overall curb weight is 4,900 pounds, and this model is the all-wheel drive. It makes 300 horsepower, 355 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 is going to be 5.7 seconds, and we even get a max range around 319 miles. The overall length is 190.5 inches with wheelbase at 116.3. Width is 76.9, height is 64.8, and ground clearance is 6.4 inches. Moving on to the exterior styling with the Equinox EV, has a very sharp style to it. You can of course see that really nice LED bar across this whole upper grille. You also have the turn signals integrated. You have this kind of plastic carbon fiber style throughout the center of the grille, and you also have your headlights located down below. You're gonna see more of that trim. We got the blacked out Chevy logo, forward-facing camera, got forward-facing parking sensors, RS logo, and then more sharp lines all throughout it. Got a safety sensor down below, some functional mesh openings down below, and then kind of just a textured design throughout the smooth grille section. You have more sharp body lines on the far side with functional air inlets, and it really comes together to be a sharp looking EV. You can also see the sharp lines throughout the entire hood, fading towards that windshield. Has a nice look. It really does stand out nicely with a Chevy flair to it. You also have more body color for the fender arches all around the wheels, and then a nice set of 21-inch 5-spoke wheels finished off in the gloss black. Got a reflector on the side, some more sharp lines, your Equinox logo with a blue E, which is a nice touch, and then more gloss trim all throughout the lower doors. You're gonna get power deploying side door handles, and then we have the gloss black mirror caps. There's all black trim throughout the windows, black roof rails, and a small shark fin antenna in back with a nice integrated spoiler. For the overall side profile, it's more of a mid-size crossover SUV, so it has a very good proportion, nice lines throughout it, really good overall style, and I like how in back, the taillight is mimicking that headlight quite a lot. You got that cool LED bar with nice animations all throughout it, got all your blacked out badging, and then I like how there's more of the cool animations throughout those taillights. Down below, you're gonna get that kind of triangular mesh shape that we saw in the grille around the license plate, which is a nice touch as well. Got more parking sensors, a cool looking diffuser, and it really comes together nicely. Again, it's just a good looking overall electric crossover. For the key fob, your typical Chevy key fob with lock, unlock, got remote start, trunk release as well, a black Chevy logo. Now with this car, it's set up to where when you walk up to it, it'll basically unlock and deploy the door handles. We can just pop this open, and you're gonna check out this nice black interior with all the red accents. For the door panel finished off in the black, we have this softer touch material up above, some red accents, there's ambient lighting right here, memory seating, lock, unlock with your release handle, and then all of your mirror and window controls. We're gonna have nice padding on the armrest with a grab handle and storage, and then power controls for this seat, along with contrast stitching. Got the red and blue, as well as this gray, a little bit of fabric accent, along with the nice perforated leather throughout the center. Got more of all that contrast making its way up to the headrest with the RS logo. And then we have a nice 3-spoke steering wheel with all the contrast stitching and gloss trim. And then now inside the 2026 Chevy Equinox EV, keep my foot on the brake, the entire vehicle will automatically fire up. You're gonna get the black Chevy logo in the center. We have cruise control settings on the left with your radar cruise control. And then on the right side, we're gonna get a couple different audio controls, heated steering wheel, as well as the one to where we can configure the center screen. You have several different designs, a full map system, one with just cruise control info, and then a simple one as well. But you're gonna see your speed, the charge. You also have your percentage and range. On the right side, we're gonna get our gear shifter, and then over on the left side is where we can do all the wiper blades as well as your turn signal. Got one of your air vents on the left side with this red accent trim, and then we have park and brake, lane assist, auto hold, tailgate release as well. Now this is smooth plastic material, a little bit of soft touch material behind the screen, heads-up display, and just a harder plastic all around it. You're gonna see more of the soft touch over here. This is also ambient lit at night, and then we have some soft touch down below. Now for the 17.7-inch screen, Has a simple look overall with all of your different tiles. We have a lot of Google integration, all sorts of different apps are throughout the car. Climate control is all going to be down below. We have our temperature we can toggle. We have heated and ventilated seating, fan speed right in the center. However, we also have climate controls down here. So we can actually toggle this for our temperature. We have fan speed, defrost, auto, and off. And then for the screen itself, we can go into a climate screen to see everything in better detail. Up above, we have several different shortcuts too. Home screen gets you to here. We have one with a lot of different information. Then we have different controls. We have audio, full screen nav, and phone. So it's pretty simple overall. However, you do have a ton of small little tiles to tap. So while there's not really any buttons in here, you have a lot of different things to touch on the screen. So got a lot going on in a simple design. In reverse, we're going to get a nice backup camera filling out a decent part of the screen. You have your guidelines as well. You can also configure all of this with our top-down view, side views, hitch, and then we also have front view as well. P button, back into park. On this far left side, we're going to have a vehicle off icon, the one pedal driving. We also have headlight controls that will pop up that you can easily adjust everything. So pretty simple throughout that. We have air vents down below, those climate controls, and then there is wireless charging with a lot of storage. You have more storage here along with cup holders, USB ports. There's even storage on the underside of this console. This cool textured soft touch material, more of this nice textured vinyl, and then a pretty nice center glove box. Opening that up, has a ton of space hidden there, nice removable bucket, and then we have our glove box on the far right side with a large bucket. One last look at the interior. It's pretty simple overall, very similar to modern Chevy, so it's look very familiar overall. Nice soft touch materials throughout it, nice little bit of accents. No sunroof or anything on this car. Then we're going to get dome lights up above with your OnStar controls, and then we have a nice frameless mirror with the integrated camera system, and then buttons all on the far right side. Moving on to the rear seat space, I can just grab the door handle, open it up. Door panel is going to look very similar to the front. However, we have harder plastics here, the nice padding right there, and then a little bit of storage. You have all the same seating materials with the smooth leather, the fabric, and the perforations. This can seat 3 people. And then in the center, we can pull this one down for an armrest as well as cup holders. And then we're going to get air vents down below. We even have heated seats and plugs, and then storage behind the passenger seat. There's also going to be a lever up here. We can easily fold these seats nice and flat. So hopping into the back seat with the 2026 Equinox EV. So sitting here at 5'11", I do have pretty decent headroom, a couple inches. Even with the driver's seat at my height, I have really good knee room. Now the seat bases are kind of low, so my knees are a little high up, and the seat itself does feel rather small. Recline angle is fine. So it's all right back here. A car seat would fit pretty decent. You know, smaller kids maybe back here. Full-grown adults, it's iffy back here, but overall there is space, so I can't really complain all too much given it's not the biggest vehicle out there. Taking a look at the cargo space, I can just double tap the button on the key fob. It's going to automatically pop open. There's also going to be a button underneath where you can easily open this up. So you have a pretty large area in here for cargo, nice flat load floor, a little bit of a cubby on the left side with an LED light, and then a deeper cubby on this far right side. We can even lift open the floor. We have a lot of hidden space here, as well as some other areas right there. Now from here, you are able to grab here and get these seats to fold nice and flat, and that's really going to maximize how much space you have in this Equinox. So it really is a pretty roomy car overall for a good sized family crossover. All right, so setting off now in the Equinox in sport mode. Up to speed, and I can grab this paddle shift design button, slow us down a little bit, or turn one pedal driving on and the car automatically slows down even more with that button. So you get just a little bit of torque steer with the car. It's not a crazy amount, but you know, pretty healthy acceleration. It's not really that fast of a car, I will say. You know, sport mode and normal don't really feel all too much different. But again, this isn't exactly a sport-focused crossover. So overall driving, I will say it is super smooth. Now we've had this all week and I have put over 300 miles on it by now, doing some work in the city. So I've been driving 80 miles every single day in this car. I've had charging everywhere I have had to park. So I have had zero range anxiety just because I've had efficient charging, and every day when I head back home, I'm on 100%. So it's been honestly a really good commuter car, given charging has not been a thought for me for the whole week. And even now, I charged it 2 days ago and I still got 189 miles of range. So it's been a nice daily commuter car. It is very smooth and quiet, especially maybe if you're coming from trucks or annoying loud vehicles or something like that. When you drive this, it has been very pleasant. The seat is pretty comfortable. However, I will say I feel just a little too tall in here. I wish I could move the pedals back a little bit because I'm already a little bit farther away from the steering wheel than I would like, about an inch too far away, but my knees are a little bent and slightly uncomfortable. So it's not bad, it's just I would like a little more space in this interior, maybe a little bit more maneuverability. But again, I'm nearly 6 feet tall, so if you're a little bit shorter than that, different proportions, you're probably not gonna have an issue. Overall, again, I've been pretty comfortable just cruising in this. The steering feel feels nice, the suspension absorbs bumps. It is very quiet and relaxing, which is something that I've really enjoyed. I just hear a little bit of wind noise over here, probably the mirror, but nothing annoying. Only big thing I will notice, visibility is not that good. This mirror does a really good job with a wide angle. However, the side mirrors feel very small, and even with me poking them out all the way, you still get a little bit of a blind spot to where a vehicle will exit here and not quite be into that mirror. And I've noticed looking over my left and right shoulder, there'll be a car right over there and the mirrors don't quite show it. So there's a little bit of a blind spot. Same with the right side. I've actually had a semi truck in the blind spot on the right side, which normally when I poke my mirrors out farther than your average buyer does, I have 0 blind spots in pretty much any car. So just make sure you do a head and shoulder check on this car over your shoulders every time, just in case, because the side mirrors are kind of tiny. But overall driving has been nice. I like how it is just a well-balanced crossover with enough space. The tech can get a little annoying. I just am getting a little over all the modern cars with a million different toggles and tiles and just things to touch. So that's one thing that has kind of driven me a little crazy. So my honest thoughts with the 2026 Equinox EV. So this is kind of their sporty version. I will say I've enjoyed it for the most part just because of how smooth it is. This has honestly been a fantastic commuter car for me for the last week. Now I've been working a trade show with one of our friends' businesses in the city all week long, and I have used this as my daily driver, which, you know, you normally think of an electric car not the greatest for an 80-mile round trip every single day. However, you know, certain areas when there is adequate charging, it really makes it to where you don't have to think about it. Basically every day I've had a full tank of gas. So it's been a really good car for that. And every time I hop in it, head home or head out early in the morning to do what I need to do, it's just been comfortable and smooth. And when you're, you know, working 10 hours days, it's nice to commute in something very smooth. It's been quiet, comfortable. The cruise control system, now a lot of cars have the hands-free cruise control system. On these back roads, I can't really demonstrate it, but it works fine. I really had pretty much no complaints. My only issue that I have seen with the cruise control with our toll roads that we have, if I'm in the left lane of the standard part of the road and I get to where on the toll road it's like a 70, the cruise control on this automatically goes up. I've had this set on like 72 miles an hour cruising, and then all of a sudden I look down and I'm at 80 for some reason because it went up because of the toll road. And then if I get in the right lane again at like 72, all of a sudden it'll just slow down when it sees the speed limit sign and go down to like 65. So that has been one thing that has kind of driven me crazy. I'm pretty sure that is going to be a setting where you can turn off any automatic speed adjustments. But if that is on, that drove me crazy because all of a sudden I'm going, you know, 15 over, which not really what I want to be doing on the highway when there's lots of cops out. So that's been a little annoying. Like I said, legroom, it's comfortable, just my knees are a little high off the seat. I can't really angle the seat base to lift the front of my legs up and support them. So I wish there was just a bit more maneuverability, particularly pedals. I wish they were automatic to where I could push them farther away from me and then I'd be a lot more comfortable. But I think other than those two things, you know, not really many downfalls with the car. I've used the Google integrated navigation every day. The traffic patterns are very nice to see. I've been able to kind of watch this as I drive, heading down, watching the traffic, everything, how it looks, and know, you know, if I'm going to encounter traffic or not, and hop in that toll lane just to avoid that. So it's kind of been a really good blend with how it works. I think my only complaint with the modern tech, every car company is basically going to massive screens, no buttons. I'm okay with that if they do it right. This is a fine setup, but there are so many little tiles. You have to take your eyes off the road. The ones up here, it's a reach. It's like a 3-inch reach. So I'm sitting here trying to tap this little icon and trying to drive straight at the same time. Climate, I don't mind because we have physical ones, but like going between a couple things while driving just gets a little annoying with all these little buttons. And it's not really any different than back in the day when people complained about a million buttons. Now we just have a million tiles on a screen, which is a far reach. So, I don't know, I wish they would have bigger tiles and simplified. I don't think we need 100 different things to tap on the screen. So I would really like a more simple layout on the screen, just because when you're using it while driving, it can get a little distracting. The cars yelled at me a couple times for not paying attention because I'm trying to change something on the screen. But, full throttle. Yeah, overall though, I give this like a 90 out of 100. It's a fine car. It really does do a lot of things well. Just a couple minute details that I wish were a little bit better just to make it that much more easy. But there you guys go. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content, and comment below what are your thoughts on the Equinox EV. Is Chevy heading in the right direction with cars like this? I'll see you all in the next video.